be for a lot of people, they're going to gain a lot of information that they don't know. A lot of people don't know about the Moors. They don't know that African people are the original Aboriginal people. You know, recently Senator Scott Geeson of Alabama referred to black people as Aborigines. And a lot of people of African descent in America took exception to that and didn't like it. But he's telling the truth. You know, when you don't know the names that your people were called throughout history, you don't know how to find yourself in history. You don't know that the Olmecs were an Africoid people. That's us.
Right.
Those are African people. Yeah. When you look at the Olmec heads, to the 25 tons, those are African people.
With the locks.
With the locks, exactly.
The giant
with
nose.
the locks, right.
The big, beautiful lips.
Right. They came before Columbus. Dr.
Right.
Van Sertima. He's documenting this in
Should
there.
be called We Came Before Columbus. One
Exactly.
day it's us.
Right. But even if you look at Before the Mayflower by Lerone Bennett Jr.
Bennett.
on page 40 in Before the Mayflower,
What does it say?
he tells you that for a long time in colonial America, there was no legal name to focus white anxiety. The first blacks were called blackamoors, Moors, Negars, which is Negers, and Negars, Negars. The word Negro and Spanish, the word Negro, a Spanish and Portuguese term for black, did not come into general use in Virginia until the latter part of the century. So you're talking about later 16th century. So blackamoors and Moors, these are names that we had as a general people here going back hundreds of years, but even thousands of years, because we were here. You know, Dr. David Imhotep, I interviewed him a few months ago. He wrote a new book called The First Americans Were Africans, Documented Evidence. There's evidence of the presence of African people going back to 51,000 years in the territory that's known as South Carolina. Okay, all throughout the South America, Central America, Africans were all throughout that area. They were called different names. Now, right here in Detroit, we have a street called Blackamoor Street.
Right.
Okay, but a lot of people don't see. We have to learn how to become history detectives, and we have to learn how to decode the clues that are left behind. A lot of people don't know why that's there. You know, obviously there was either a presence of Moors here, or there's a reference to a presence of Moors somewhere in this geographical area. Okay, so these are some things we're going to deal with. Aboriginal people, Moors, people of African descent, and for those who may not realize that Egypt is in Africa, and may have doubt that the ancient Egyptians or Kemetic people, because Egypt is an Arabic word of Greek derivation. Kemet means land of the blacks. Okay, actually, if you look at Nile Valley Contributions to Civilization by Tony Browder, and I've interviewed him twice actually, on page 61, he shows you a reproduction of a carving in the tomb of Ramesses III. And Ramesses III lived around 1200 BC. It shows a depiction of the Kemetic people, the Indo-Europeans, the Nubians, and the Semitic people. The depiction of the Kemetic people and Nubians are exactly identical because they were the same people. Your cameras can't get this, but
Black African people.
They were the same people. Those were their cousins. They lived in the south. What was known as Nubia is today the upper portion of the Sudan and the lower portion of Egypt. That was what was known as Nubia. So these were the same people. Okay, so what we have to understand is that if your history had no value, people wouldn't go through all the trouble to steal it from you in the first place. Okay, so once again, this Saturday, Hidden Colors, the untold story of people of Aboriginal, Moorish, and African descent, movie screening and lecture with host Sabir Bey. He is also featured in the movie and interviewed in the documentary. July 2nd, Saturday, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. at 19011 Livernois. This is the new Besse Saka Cultural Arts Center, right across the street from the BP gas station. And $15 for adults, $8 for children and seniors. Bring your family. There's you don't have vulgarity in the documentary, cursing, because the truth is powerful enough that you don't have to taint it with those other things. So the whole family can come out to this.
And in closing, Brother Imhotep, it needs to be told that we are the only indigenous people anywhere on the planet. The Earth in totality is 196,940,000 square miles of land and water mass in totality. We are the only indigenous people anywhere. We're the first everywhere.
Exactly.
Before anybody got anywhere, we were there.
Exactly.
And so, white folks, and I ain't talking about my two brothers from another mother that's here. I'm talking about the real white folks.
Right.
You ain't got mad money, you ain't white.
Right.
White folks, do the right thing.
Right.
Honor your mother and your father.
Right.
On this earth, so that the days in which the Lord your God gives you, so you can live, man.
Right.
See, Joplin is a sign. The whole damn town wiped out. Just like that's a sign of what God will do to you.
Right.
And our ancestors will do to you.
Right.
Because the tornadoes and the hurricanes start on the coast of Africa.
Right.
If you follow their origin, it starts from Africa and it grows from there and it follows the same route as the slave ships. And many of us came on slave ships, but many of us was already here.
Exactly.
So we got it on both ends.
Right. We have to understand that.
You need to know that. You can live. Right. We can all be together. Actually, you black people, you just don't know it and don't want to recognize. You part of us.
Right.
We're your mother and father, baby.
Right.
So let's just get along, cut out the racism, the sexism, the classism, the isms, schisms. Let's let people live, man.
Exactly.
It'd be nice if we could do that.
Exactly.
But until then,
yep.
Till then, we're going to keep moving like we've been moving. But you need to know where life began, and it began in Africa, and the greatest culture on the planet, the Nile Valley.
Nile Valley civilization, yes.
Give out the number again for Saturday.
313-396-5396. You can go to our website, AfricanHistoryNetwork.com. We have the flyer there, all the information also, and information about our DVDs as well. Or you can email us at info@AfricanHistoryNetwork.com. So if you want information for schools that may be watching things like that. And this is a good... they can come there and purchase this DVD. This is a good research project for children to do who are out of school. We don't want their brains to atrophy. We're still dealing with this archaic, antiquated educational system set up in the late 1800s. So they're out of school for 2.5 months to plow the fields. Okay, and a lot of kids don't even have backyards.
Yes, sir.
And another thing I just want to share quickly with you.
Yeah, real quick, bro.
Okay, this is, I got this from Answers.com. I was doing some research today. This is a picture of Saint Benedict the Moor. Okay, now he's a saint, but he's an African. You can go to Answers.com, type in Benedict the Moor. It comes up with a picture of Saint Benedict the Moor, gives you a description of him. He was no doubt an African man. This is something good for children to research, and you can use Answers.com to do research assignments. It gives you
not only stick up kids and pimps
no. We had to be.
We did great things.
We had to be taught to do that. We had to be taught to do that. See, when the extent of your knowledge of your people only deals with slavery, then the only thing you think you can be is a slave or have a slave mentality.
Or a pimp.
Or a pimp, exactly.
Stick up kid.
Right. Well, pimp is
gangbanger.
Right. Exactly. You know, as
Malcolm
Malcolm
said,
said,
teaching, brother.
As Malcolm
and
said,
give me my information.
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead. You know, as Malcolm said, as long as you can be convinced that you've never done anything, you can't do anything. Exactly.
That's right.
Exactly.
All right, my brother.
All right, brother. Well, thanks for having
me back on.
We appreciate you. No problem.
We'll see you Saturday.
Exactly.
Imhotep.